All right, let me be dead level with you. Let me have a tidy up first. Okay, how are we looking? How are we looking? We are looking pretty fly. Okay. These have been something that I've been wanting to introduce to you. Not just introduce to you, I've talked about the beach totes before. What's the problem has been that I haven't got round to getting them listed. Some of these were cut for over a year ago and then have sat unmade up. We had orders to work through and catch up on. I've had some design work as well. And these just ended up on the back burner, partly because I ran out of summer last year and it just seemed like there wasn't really... It wasn't the right time by the time... Well, I never did get time. But by the time there could have been time, it wasn't the right time. Or at least it didn't seem like it was the right time. So I just put them on the back burner, and they've been something that every now and then people ask, what's happened to the beach totes? What happened to the Beach Assault Totes? And I've been wanting to do them. And so I finally just set some days aside and got 4 of them made up. And I have photographed them now. They're going on the website today. And there is just one of each. There are dibs trying to be given on this one for definite. This one I want this one in the dark. It's absolutely phenomenal. I've been using one of these. This isn't it, just so you know. This is the one that I have been running with. Not running. I've been using this for over a year. This was the first. Was it the first one? Yeah, this was the first proto. And it's been properly used and abused. It's been on multiple holidays, multiple beaches. It's been on a hiking trip. It's been on train and bike ride trips, and it's been good. It's got oil all over it now because I leaned it. It was leaned. It was lent. I lent it against my freshly oiled bike and was quite annoyed about that, but yes, safe to say I'm really pleased with like the capacity of it. It's just a great tough gear hauler. It looks at home on the beach, but it also looks at home in, you know, an urban environment or what have you. It carries as a over the shoulder tote or down by the side, and then it also has like a crossbody that can attach with these 50mm gatekeepers, so you can take those off and detach that strap if you want. So when it's under load, it's all super strong, and then when you want to detach it, you've got to push this back slightly and then just squash that, and then it'll just pop off there, slide out, and then always close it again so you don't lose it. That's your 50mm gatekeeper. And then, why am I still showing you the old one? And then it has the fidlock closure on the inside. So that's a magnetic clasp. If you don't know about those, if you're watching this channel, you probably do. So you can see how that just closes there. Which just pulls it together. It doesn't zip close or anything. It's an open tote. Just drop your stuff in, and then inside each one is also a hanging zipped pocket. Here's that hanging pocket. It's got the AquaGuard zip access to it. Wallet, keys, glasses, and what we all need, a couple of cool Hot Wheels. purpose of that is wallet and keys, phone, that type of thing. So, you know, you're on the beach, everything's just stuffed in the bag, but you always want to know exactly where your keys, wallet and phone are, and you don't want those things to be able to fall out of the bag. I mean, you don't want anything to fall out of the bag, but when you're running along, keys, you know, they could bounce out, couldn't they? You're going to notice if, I don't know, your jumper falls out or your towel, but you might miss the keys. And then also, because most of the fabrics that I use are waterproof. In fact, okay, let's go back to that. Because all of the fabrics that I use have some degree of water resistance, but they aren't waterproof because everything is stitched. But certainly this would be splash proof, so it's a good safe place for your bag. If like water spills or what have you, you're going to be okay with your phone in there. It's not submersible, you're not going swimming with it, but if you put your phone and your keys and your wallet in there, they're going to stay fairly dry. I'd say dry. In fact, I'd go all the way and say they're going to stay dry unless you do dive in with it. Don't dive, just don't do that, and it'll all be good. So here we go. So yeah, you've got the tote handles, and then the quirk of the design is that the strap here is not fixed around the bottom, so it can move about, and there is an adjuster here. It's an adjuster that's there for the styling, but you could adjust it out if you, I don't know, you might want to stuff a towel behind it or a jacket or something. I don't think so because it's pretty giant. It's just a quirk of the, it's just the way it's what spoke to me. It's the way it spoke to me. I wanted it like that, but it does mean that they move about. You're going to have to keep on top of that. I'm sorry. If you feed back to me though, and you say, look, John, I bought your tote and I really love it, but it really annoys me that these straps keep moving, then I'll take that into account and probably never change it. No, I probably might change. I'll tell you why I didn't do that. I'll tell you why I didn't fix it on. I didn't want to stitch through the fabric. So the fabric, like I just talked about, is actually waterproof. So this is a great bag for taking to the beach, and you don't have to think about, you know, if there's like some wet sand or a couple of puddles. Do you call it puddles when it's on the beach, or do you call it pools? Bodies of water. Or the kids come up with a bucket of water and unleash it near where you're sitting. Although it has seams, so we're not saying it's waterproof, but it's going to sit there, it's going to be okay. As soon as I stitch these to this bag, I'm creating points of ingress. I'm perforating the fabric in order to do the stitching. And I just wanted to try and create like a bucket almost. So that's the reason that I have stayed away from stitching through. But no one's saying this bag is waterproof. You might have, if you've, you know, I've mentioned that. It's open at the top for a start. So, you know. Anyway, where did I get to? Yeah, so that's the quirk of the design. The straps are sort of floating. These are adjustable. I don't know what you're going to adjust them for or to. But you know by now with Ancoats bags, I like to just leave something to your creativity as to how you would use it. And I don't want to say too much more about that because I don't want to steer any ideas. I want to just let you loose with them. But what I will say is the crossbody strap, which is detachable with the gatekeepers, just through there. I've got like little loops on there. I've even got a label on there. Not on this one though, just in case you do buy that one. Or I could do one with a label for you. Detach. And what was I messing about with earlier? I mean, I was messing about with, you know, you could do like a, just fix that onto there. So that, you know, it's attached a bit like a keychain, kind of. It's not a keychain. I don't know what I'm saying, but you could just do quirky stuff, you know. You could just do extra strappage if you like the whole, you know, strappy sort of stuff going on. I don't know. It's quirky. I like it. But you don't have to have it attached all the time. It doesn't have to attach there. It can attach back onto itself here and then just tuck inside, or you can just detach it completely off, put it into the pocket, or leave it at home if you don't want to crossbody carry this thing ever in your life. Let me just show you how it looks crossbody. So off that, over to this side. Now, actually on the first one, I made it non-adjustable. I fixed the length at, I think it was something like that, and I decided that that should be the length it should be. And it's been perfect. It's been great over crossbody while I've been cycling. It's been where I want it to be, walking around town. It's always been fine. But I just imagine that when you get one of these, if it was non-adjustable, I think you'd feel like you'd been shortchanged. And so I've added in the adjuster. So it goes from pretty long. You know, if that was over the shoulder, it's going to be right down by your side, but it's good enough for hanging down on the back. Or adjust it right up to short. And it starts to become that kind of quite nice, you know, I mean, it's oversized, obviously, for like a, you know, if you were carrying this as like a handbag, but it kind of works. And it just changes it from, you know, this kind of format where it's like a big boxy beach tote into that kind of thing, which is, I don't know what you call those, but it seems familiar. So you've got different things you can do. Okay, what else can we say about it? These are the 4 things that I've done. Oh, what's in this one? Let's just talk about that. So I used my one just recently for a camping trip. It was the secondary bag. I had a big like hiking backpack. It was a proper hike out, carry everything you need trip. And I couldn't fit everything I needed for me and my 2 boys into the 50 litre or whatever size hiking pack I was using. So I needed to take one of these, not least because we were also going swimming, so we needed all of the stuff for that. But it was also the sleeping bags. And so what's actually in here is put in my trainers just to, you know, maybe you're using it for the gym. I wanted to give you that vibe, like you may be using it for the gym. You just throw your trainers in and stuff. But also, sleeping bag goes in there. And a tent, 3-man tent, which is the one we took. So I didn't use it for the tent. The tent went on the bag. I did use it for a sleeping bag and loads of other stuff, and it was perfect. But that's just to give you a flavour of what fits in. So this is a 3-man tent. This thing here now is a good sort of 60 centimetres when it's just flopped out. That goes in, pretty heavy as well, it goes in a treat. They carry a lot. I've carried quite a lot of weight in them. I've done great for shopping as well. Yeah, you've got your 50mm webbing. It's box stitched on for the handles. Nice and strong, so does the job. Nice and wide, spread the load over your shoulder. So let's get into the fabrics. I'm going to start here with the one that I haven't picked up yet. This is a Ventile canvas. Ventile is the granddaddy of Gore-Tex. This is nothing like Gore-Tex, but if you want to know the history of Ventile, there are a couple of YouTube videos that I found recently, and it talks all about how it was developed in the end of the beginning of one of the world wars. It's very interesting. It's really good video as well, much better than this one. But I might put a link to it. It was quite fascinating. But anyway, Ventile, super tight weave canvas. I believe it is also DWR coated, so water will bead on it. But this, out of these, is the least water resistant fabric because it's that lifestyle. It's a canvas. It's a nice canvas. It has a coating, but it doesn't have a backing as such, you know, like you get on the nylons. And so yeah, that's that. But what I did do, therefore, is for the inside drop pocket, I've used Cordura, which is coated and is water resistant like all the other fabrics. So that will still be your safe place for your wallet, keys, phone. And then it's with the sort of hot orange on the straps. That's the crossbody strap. Just see there how it's fixed on one side. You can just tuck it in. And then if you want to use it, obviously detach and reattach over to that side. So that's just that other way of doing that. They're branded on the front in a couple of places with the usual stuff. And what else can I say? I tell you what I will say is I've made them way more complicated to make than you would expect. Or maybe you would expect that. So that's the Ventile, and it's with the orange. This orange webbing and the pink webbing is a herringbone. Just a different, I don't know. Just realised I'm wearing shades. I'm not sure if that was the good choice, but I can't take them off now. I'm not redoing this. This webbing is it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit, when you scrunch it, you can see it's been scrunched, but it still pulls out flat when you want to. It's just a different feel to most of the other stuff that you know and love from Ancoats, which is all seatbelt webbing. I wanted these to have a slightly more lifestyle-y feel, and so I just decided I'd use a different webbing on these. And I've been using that one, the proto that I made over a year ago. And my wife has been using one of these. If you found your way here because of following my wife's Instagram, then you'll know about this bag already. You might have even been asking about it. We've both been using these for about a year, and they've held up. The webbing's great. No problems. It's just different to what I use on the other bags, but it's been great. So just coming in more closely to show you the different webbings, we've got the polypropylene V twill on the magenta and the hot orange, and then we've got the black seatbelt webbing that is used on the usual Ancoats, totes and things like that. Let's get these out of the way. So, these. Right, you can just go there. So the duck is a nylon. I think it's a 1000D nylon. It's got a backing, so it's got that water resistance qualities and stuff. It's pretty tough. Feels pretty tough. It looks super rad. I absolutely love it. It's what I've used on the Mutant backpack that you might have seen, and the Mutant backpack is a mixture of duck, camo and woodland. So as a little nod to that, the closure strap is in the woodland camo with a black fidlock. Fidlock, again, if you've forgotten what I said earlier in the video, it's a magnetic clasp. It's a V-buckle. This little cord pull, you just grab that, and when you lift it, that's what will release it. To close it, just bring them together. So they can be one-handed. You obviously couldn't see that. Sorry about that. I'll try again. Okay, so that's the magnets working in your favour. Let me just empty this out. So the duck, the fabric is the 1000D nylon with the coating, which I've used on the Mutant backpack and absolutely love. You've got the woodland camo webbing for the closure. The drop pocket is in the duck as well with a black zip. And then the webbing on this one is the seatbelt webbing. Why have I done that? Because the Mutant backpack has black seatbelt webbing, and I just wanted to carry that theme through. And I wasn't sure how it would work because it's a little bit stiffer and heavier than the herringbone polyesters, and so I was worried it would sort of take away from the bag, but it absolutely doesn't. It's my favourite. Crossbody strap to match, same size and function as on all of those. What I will say is each one is slightly different, not just fabrics and webbings. There will be more, but for now there are 4, and because that rhymes, it stands. That's really it. Oh, we were going through the fabrics, weren't we? Maybe I'll edit this around. So we've talked at length about the ventile. We've talked about the duck. Let's move on from the duck to the woodland. The woodland goes great with the orange, and so it's also got the orange binding on the inside, which so does the ventile, and the orange fidlock, which is beautiful for the closure. The woodland is an X-pack, so inside you get that really nice X-pack diamond weave into the lamination, so it's really cool looking on the inside. It's got a bit more structure than this one has almost no structure. Ventile, very floppy, no structure. Duck, some structure. X-pack, lots of structure. So they're all slightly different fabrics. So we've talked about the inside. Looking good. That's that one. And then the final one here, it's the one my wife likes, is in a Finnish. I think it's a Finnish camo. It's really nice. It's a lovely weight. It's a 500D. It's a lovely weight. It's backed with a TPU, so it's got like a sort of a, how would I describe it to the layman? It feels kind of, well, it feels coated. It feels a bit like a coated tablecloth on the inside. So it's wiped clean on the inside. I mean, that might be something that's key if you're not the most super tidy inside of your big bags. Just going in internally, there's that TPU coating that I was telling you about on the Finnish camo. It's got contrast stitch to match to the webbing, and it does match really nicely, and also it's got the fidlock closure in the pink, and it also matches an absolute treat. So this is and then it's got a black closure strap but with a little bit of contrast stitching on there, which is really nice. So this is nice. Oh, and then the drop pocket is in the same fabric. You've got your contrast stitching all over. It looks really good. Really pleased with that. And with the coating, and it's a nylon material, it's one that you can dump in the beach and it'll be great. So that's that. That's those. I don't know what else to tell you. I think that pretty much tells you all I could tell you. Beach Assault Totes. Woodland. Finnish. Duck. Ventile.